Okay, Catharina, thank you so very much for giving us a wonderful presentation over the last hour. It was absolutely fascinating. For anybody that's trying to remember what you said or maybe is hearing it for the first time, do you think you could briefly describe what you kind of explained, but in a nutshell?
The most important part is that human milk is a fantastic source of bioactive molecules. And then our focus is, of course, the discovery of Hamlet, which is a complex between a protein and a lipid in human milk that actually kills tumor cells broadly. And it's been possible to take this from the milk environment into its own, in the sense that we can purify it and use it for treatment of tumors in both animals and patients. And this is very optimistic. We would like to carry on this work to maybe make Hamlet available as a drug in the future.
So that's just fantastic. That's really taking the medicinal properties of human milk to a whole new level. So is there anything else really unique about this component that you've discovered?
Yes, there is actually. Hamlet seems to have a preference for tumor cells that is quite unusual. We're used to cancer drugs killing both normal cells and healthy cells and causing a lot of side effects. But so far in the models that we have studied, Hamlet accumulates in the tumor in vivo and it kills the tumor cells, whereas healthy adjacent tissue is not apparently affected, which is, I think, very promising.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're breaking down the current understanding of molecular biology. This seems like a whole new mechanism.
It is a whole new mechanism, and we are seeing some membrane effects in tumor cells that are not like anything that has been seen before. So we are optimistic that we will eventually be able to say that this is exactly why Hamlet is killing tumor cells with this degree of selectivity.
Amazing. Now what about the baby? So it's in milk. Is it doing anything in the baby?
Definitely. If the mother doesn't make alpha-lactalbumin, the baby gets no milk in the first place. So I mentioned that knockout mice lacking this gene cannot feed their pups. So alpha-lactalbumin is absolutely essential for milk to be formed, and it's also essential for lactose, which is, the sugar, the foodstuff that the babies get. What happens to Hamlet first of all, is it formed during the passage? It's not in fresh milk. It needs to be formed because the protein and the lipid need to meet and form this complex. And then is it traveling to different parts of the intestinal tract? We have data from the colon cancer model in mice showing that we can recover intestinal contents several hours after feeding the animals and still recover the Hamlet component from the intestinal tract. We also have data that it's protease resistance, much more than the normal protein. So hopefully this addition of the lipid is actually making the protein more suitable for doing things in the gastrointestinal tract. But we don't know.
But we don't know.
No.
Yeah, that's a common theme at this
Yes,
conference.
yes.
Lots more questions
Lot
with
more
every
to
new
do.
piece of research.
Definitely.
Now thinking forward into the future,
Yes.
where do you see this going and where do you hope it goes next?
Hamlet has a feature that to me has almost a philosophical dimension, because Hamlet keeps showing us new things. I sometimes talk about holding the tiger by the tail to see where it takes you, and scientifically Hamlet is like that, because it forces you to think out of the box all the time. And so just living this life with the scientists in my group and creative people who are wondering about Hamlet, the molecule, what it does, how to use it therapeutically. So that's one sort of basic science dimension, if you wish. And then always the utilitarian, which of course for us is to make Hamlet available to patients. That's why all of us have been working so hard for a long time. And now it's within reach, which is very, very gratifying. But we're not quite there yet.
No, it's beautiful.
Soon.
It's really, research is a long journey, and
yes.
So thank you very much for sharing this story with us today.
Thank you.
And in this brief interview, because this is just a whole new dimension of just how amazing human milk really is. So thank you very much.
It's a joint effort, isn't it?
Yes.
All the different players are needed to
Very
make this
much.
happen.
Great.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you very much.